So, Bulgarian organic smallholding, Labor Day, holiday for some people, not for us. It's still Labor Day for us. I mean, we've got to put some labor in. Today's film is about the Back to Eden gardening project and the water irrigation. If you want to see some interesting stuff, stick around. You really don't want to be out in this. The best it gets. Only mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the midday sun. Hello, get your bloody nose off the lens.
Okay, it's Saturday 26th. No, it's Monday. I think we'll start that one again.
I'm not sure which one will be the most tasty. They are moving about. Actually, it's not so bad. I recommend them, but next time I'm frying them up. All good stuff. All good stuff. Putting craft in the bucket. So, the water irrigation project, I did upload a film last year, how we made it, and it's basically the same system, but we're just altering it, making it better for ourselves, and I'll explain why. If you remember from previous films, I'll put a link to it and find it. There is a stream running over the back there, a natural stream. At the moment there's quite a lot of water, but in the summertime it can go very, very low to a very low flow. So we have an underground pipe, normal pipe for, you know, for your toilet size pipe, underneath the ground from the stream, comes in there, overflow comes out now where the hunt is chasing frogs, and here, where we blocked it with mud for now, is the underground water pipe that we want to use for our Garden of Eden or Back to Eden project. So what Timo had to do was to dig out the old pipe with the JCB. Of course it's very, very difficult not to break it, it's not a problem. Before we just had 3 holes in the pipe with an ordinary wine cork in. I used to take the dogs out in the evening, take the cork out, let the water run off down the channels. When I came back 15 minutes later, 20 minutes later, put the cork back in, it was enough. Now, with the Back to Eden garden, it's a whole new concept for me. I've done a lot of research on the internet. I really want to try it out. The problem, well, it's not a problem, but the thing is that every time I plant my tomatoes, my cucumbers, whatever, every year, I spend more time, or volunteers, workaways, whoever, spend more time weeding than you actually do anything else. So this won't stop completely weeds, but the idea is that we'll have raised beds down here. We will use our wood chippings, and we have a lot more to make. We have our own wood chipper, Drabilka, and we can use, there's another lady, I've forgotten her name, she's also quite well known, an older lady, I think she's passed away now, Ruth or something. She uses hay, straw, you can use grass clippings. So the idea is that we have raised beds here, we've got the shuttering, the coufrage to do it, and then we're going to put our wood chippings or old straw, hay, whatever, on the top. And this, we have our shuttering coufrage, our raised beds. You can't plant seeds into it, you have to make holes, but you can plant your seedling, not your, what's the word I'm looking for here?
I guess seedling.
Yeah, in Bulgarian it's called what?
Rasad.
Rasad. So later today I'm going to go to the market and see what they have in tomatoes, cucumbers. We're a bit late, it's the 1st of May. That's the way it is, too many things to do. Anyway, back to today's part. This will be a serialization, I assume, as we go along. Today is how we're going to do the underground or underfloor irrigation system. Now, a lot of people don't use a watering system with the Back to Eden garden. I want to have the opportunity to be able to use it. So, the chippings do a lot of different things. They suppress weeds, they rot down, they give nutrients, and they retain moisture. But I don't want to be, you know, watering over the top. I want to be able the water to go underneath where I want it. So, we have our pipe, standard pipe you use for your septic tank, whatever. about 6 meters or more, yeah. And we'll put 4. I will actually climb down here and try not to break anything off. We basically have the connectors, a reducer, another reducer, PVC pipe, a tap. From here will come the rest of the PVC piping and go right to the end. And what we'll do is we'll wrap that pipe around with some geotextile so it can't clog. And we'll just put little drill holes in it where we want the water to seep out. We want seepage, not a great flow. A slow seepage. Because although we're down in the derry, in the gully here, and the water is down there, it can still get extremely dry during the hot summer months. So I want to be able to turn the water on which line I want. And I forgot to say, there is a plan in the future to have a big, large greenhouse here, which will extend our growing period. In fact, it can go all year round if we do it right. So I still need water. The back of the camera of that side, there'll be another garden later, but you won't see anything at the moment. First job is to get this one sorted and to get some plants in ASAP before it gets a bit too late. So there you have it. I think it's self-explanatory. We have to get the levels right, and obviously there is not what you couldn't say is not pressurized. I mean, it's just a flow from the pond. It's a gravity feed, so we don't need, you know, welded really tight. I mean, we'll make it as tight as it's possible to do it, but these systems are made so that they don't have a problem. I mean, with leaking or whatever. This time again, later, it's not important now, we'll dig out and put a concrete base under these particular junctions and build it up with some rocks. So at winter time I can put insulation in there, and it'll stop us when we don't see for weeds. I mean, just look at the jungle here now. But I don't drive over it with the JCB, the tractor, the ATV, the Larder Neva, and break the pipe, which is then a lot of work digging out and replacing it again. So that's it. Let's see how it works out. We'll keep coming back as we get progress and try to make a playlist of it, and eventually, hopefully, see if this system works for us. It works for a lot of people, and believe me, if I don't have to do any weeding or minimal weeding, I'm going to be a happy Larry, a happy boy. Over and out for now. So you can see now that this is how it turns out, how it's going to look. Got the 4 connections in. We've got the drainage stopper on the end. We'll put some gravel in there, so if I get a blockage in there, at least I can open it up and rod it out. And during the winter months, if I don't need it, I can block it, the entrance over there in the pond, and drain it down here so there's nothing that can basically freeze. So next, now just doing a bit of backfilling by hand with a spade, not to risk it with the bucket on the JCB and leaving them exposed, because obviously the next stage will be to trench down and connect the PVC piping. Sure you can see it over there. I probably don't have enough of it, but it's not expensive. It's actually the cheapest element. I think I paid about
1 left per meter or something.
Yeah, 1 lev per meter for the piping at that size. But I think for all these connectors, the black parts, and there are stoppers at the end which I didn't show. There's a stopper that fits on the end of the PVC piping. I think I paid about 40 lever, or was it 80 lever? I can't remember. I always get mixed up between lever and euro. Sorry. And of course I had to buy all these connections which I got from Home Max or something like that. So, but the point is, it's not I know that you can go and buy these roll-out flat hose pipe jobbies from Lidl and whatever, and they work, of course, but I want something a bit more permanent and a bit more. Those you usually have to roll up at the end of the growing season, and you're likely to stick your fork through it or something. With a no-dig system, that's basically what this Back to Eden was. I didn't say earlier. All this using wood chippings or using hay, straw, grass cuttings, whatever. It's meant to be a no-dig system. We will not rotivate this land here. We did last year when we grew openly.
I mean in the soil. We will not. We'll just flatten we'll roll over it to flatten the weeds, and with the wood chippings on the top, they should rot down, and after this they should die off. We'll always get some weeds, of course, but from my experience, when you have something like this, it's much easier to weed. You can really just pull them out by hand. You don't need to dig them with a fork unless you really get these, you know, the weeds that don't want to give up and get long roots. So that's it. The hunt is still frogging about there somewhere in the pond. She's amusing herself. The pigs are back in their sty. They're obviously clever enough to understand it's too hot. They don't want to get sunburnt. So, and this is what happens. Like, this was cut back, and now it's gone completely wild. So there you go. Over now for now.